Hi, welcome to this session on check constraint. In this session, we will discuss importance of check constraint to enforce integrity of data. We will demonstrate its implementation, and in the end, we will discuss its limitations. Let's start this session. To ensure validity of data during insert operation, we can use check constraint. It allows storage of only valid values, and we can specify valid or allowed values as logical expression. If logical expression evaluates true, then value is inserted. Otherwise, system will return an error message. Its syntax is column name, data type and size. With this, we have to supply check logical expression. You can note that its syntax is different from other constraints. It is optional to specify constraint name during application of this constraint. Let us apply this constraint on a student table. In case of student database, we wish to define BE, ME and MCA as valid classes and marks should be greater than or equal to 0. For this, we can use this statement. Let us execute this statement to demonstrate this concept. Let us create student table with check constraint on class and marks. Table has been created. In this case, only BE, ME and MCA classes are allowed and marks should be greater than and equal to 0. It is important to note that for check constraint on class, we have specified our own constraint name, while for check constraint on marks, we have not specified our constraint name. For this, constraint name will be assigned by Oracle. Let us insert record in this table. Record for roll number 1 has been inserted. If I try to insert BA for roll number 2, it is not allowed and system raise an error for violation of check constraint. And you can note that check constraint raised by Oracle carries user defined name class underscore check. If I try to insert negative value in marks, it is also not allowed. And in this case, constraint name is assigned by Oracle and it is sys underscore this number. It is also important to note if we try to insert BE in lowercase, it will also not allowed because we have specified BE in uppercase during check constraint. So we should be very careful about the case of character values. In case of library database, we have roll number, book number, date of issue and date of return as its column. In this case, we wish that date of return should be more than date of issue. For this, we can apply table level constraint by specifying this condition after specifying all the columns. Let us execute this statement to check its result. Let us create library table with table level check constraint that date of return should be more than date of issue. Table has been created. Let us insert this record with 12 Jan 2017 as date of issue and 20 Jan 2017 as date of return. Record has been inserted. But if I make date of return less than date of issue, then system raise an error message and this insertion is not allowed. Yes, we have achieved our objective. There are some limitations of check constraint. As we have applied check constraint on class column to ensure that only BE, ME and MCA classes are allowed in our university, but it suffers from some anomalies. Let's suppose our university has started an MBA course and we wish to insert roll number 4 into this course. But here it is not allowed. In order to make this insertion possible, we have to change the structure of this table by adding MBA into check class list. But For this, we have to make change in the schema of table, but it is not desirable. Its solution is foreign key constraint. So we can summarize that check constraint has its own limitation. It cannot be applied on those columns whose value is going to change in future. It can only be applied on those columns whose value is not going to change in future. For example, it is valid for marks that it should be greater than and equal to 0. So we can apply check constraint for this. We can also apply check constraint for gender field, that gender should be male, female and transgender. But it cannot be applied in case of class, where classes can be added or removed in the future. Let us summarize the concept we have learned in this session. In this session, we have understood the importance of check constraint and discussed its implementation. We have also highlighted the limitations of check constraint. In next session, we will discuss the concept of foreign key constraint and default constraint. You are further advised to read more on creation of table with constraints in reading section of week 2. Thanks for watching this video.